A true Grinch story as a local charity is hit by thieves. Plus, a lawn mowing mission. What point this man is trying to prove by riding his mower across Las Vegas and the country. News 3 begins now.
She mentioned that the kids were sleeping on the floor, and that was not acceptable.
A Valley family is left on the floor after what they thought were brand new mattresses only made them sick. But tonight, 2 local families showed true holiday spirit. Strangers who stepped in to help because they say they couldn't stand by and do nothing.
This is News 3 Nightside with Gerard, Ramalho, and Anqunette Moon.
Good evening, everyone. Until tonight, a Las Vegas family with 6 kids had no beds to sleep in. The mattresses their mother saved up to buy turned out to be a health hazard.
An update now to the exclusive story we first brought you yesterday as complete strangers reach out to help the family. Rebecca Klein is live outside the furniture store where the horror started. Rebecca, there is no sign of that business there anymore.
In fact, Gerard, we are told this business was long gone before we ever came out here. Someone tells me they skipped town a couple months back. As you can see, the windows here at Discount Furniture and Mattress are completely covered up. But let me tell you, not even 2 minutes after we told you about how the family broke out into rashes after using these mattresses, your calls to help came pouring in.
The mattress is going to be delivered tomorrow. So have some bed linens and pillows.
A gift from one stranger to another.
I put in a baby crib mattress. I didn't know.
Minutes later, the room fills with more people who've never met. More mattresses.
Just rip that open, okay?
And toys, some given from tot to tot.
My heart just went out to them. I just could not imagine those kids sleeping on those infested mattresses.
Infested with blood, graffiti.
This is what the kids been sleeping on.
And after a visit to the doctor, the family learns scabies too, explaining all the rashes. Mattresses bought as new, their past covered up.
My husband was watching the news and he saw the story on the news and he just thought that it would be a good idea to help the family out.
I think it's wonderful, you know. I really do, and God's gonna bless them.
Hope it don't happen in, nobody else's family, and I'm just happy for what you did, you guys did for my family. And
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to y'all too.
As you can see, the store's sales pitch is still here, offering new mattresses. The family you just met again believes they received anything but tonight they are just thankful for all the strangers who came into their lives and are now giving their kids a place to sleep at night. Reporting live from Main Street, I'm Rebecca Klein. Back to you.
Great to see so many people help out. Thanks, Rebecca. The Department of Consumer Affairs is investigating the matter. A total of 4 complaints have been filed against this business.
This is supposed to be the season of giving, but instead someone has taken from a group that helps the helpless. A local charity has been robbed of all their donations. Officials tell News 3 someone broke into the SPCA sometime last night through an opening in the roof. The robbers got into the office and stole $1,000 worth of donations out of a lockbox. Volunteers still cannot believe what happened.
Whoever did it, I hope they rot in hell. We work very, very hard for every penny we get, being the true nonprofit organization without any kind of funding at all. So, we're just very, very upset about it.
The money was supposed to go toward purchasing animals from other shelters, animals who were about to be euthanized in order to give them a second chance at finding a home. The SPCA says it still hopes to raise more money by the 16th.
It's been a roller coaster of a day in the battle for the White House, just one dramatic twist after another. Here now is the very latest. Tonight, the recount of undervotes in all Florida counties has stopped. All this after the U.S. Supreme Court intervened. The justices have agreed to hear an appeal by George W. Bush and his camp on Monday morning. For more new developments, we go to Mark Strassman in Tallahassee.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, nearly everyone involved in this who started the day so frantically is taking a breather, except, of course, the lawyers. Florida's on-again, off-again recount is off again.
has ordered that pursuant to instructions provided by the United States Supreme Court,
now routine, another startling legal order
to cease all manual recounts.
Across Florida, ballot inspectors pulling thankless weekend duty just stopped mid-recount. In Tampa, from Republican onlookers to cheers. And in Tallahassee to jeers.
Surprising, disappointing. It was going very smoothly. People felt like we were making progress, and then suddenly a clerk came in or something and said that it was time to stop. So,
louder than ever, time taunts the Gore campaign.
That the legitimacy of any president that's elected is going to be impaired unless the American people understand that there has been a full and fair count of all the votes.
By a 5-4 vote, a badly divided Supreme Court ordered the recount to stop. On Monday, justices will hear oral arguments from both sides.
I really think it's sad that we seem to be deciding a national election for President of the United States in lawsuits and in courthouses.
For now, all the ballots get put away. All the recounters get their Sunday back. And 9 justices get ready to script a final act for this national serial drama. Mark Strassman, NBC News, Tallahassee.
Okay, Mark, again today, each side accused the other of trying to change the rules of the game. On Monday, the Supreme Court, probably for the last time, steps into the referee to fare out this bare-knuckled, bench-clearing brawl. We'll see what happens.
Well, are you fed up with this election saga? I mean, how many changes can we have in one day, 1 week, even 1 hour? Phone calls have been literally pouring into our newsroom all day. Many of you downright mad about everything that's going on. So we decided to take our cameras out onto the streets to find out what many of you are saying.
I think it's all a waste of time and money. I don't think too much about politics after all the issues that they do and cover up.
I feel that it's not that important what happens with the president because we have the Senate, we have Congress, they make the decisions.
I just think that I'm real tired of hearing about it. Get it over with, do something, man. I'm tired of hearing about it. It's drawn out, dragged out, and dragged out. It's ridiculous. Gone how many years and always had it done right, and now all of a sudden this happens?
And should Al Gore give it up? Well, a new poll out tonight shows that before yesterday's ruling by the Supreme Court, 56% of you said yes. Now, just 1 day after the ruling, that number has dropped to 49%. As you know by now, things can change with every minute, so keep it here on News 3. We teamed up with NBC News and are staying on top of every development.
President Clinton's time in office is dwindling, but just before he leaves, Susan McDougal and Webster Hubbell, 2 of the people convicted in the Whitewater case, are asking him for pardons tonight. So far, the White House has declined to comment about those requests. Well, here's a sight that you don't see every day. Take a look at this. This is what one local family's home looks like tonight. This is just hours after a truck literally crashed into their living room. Police say the crash happened when the truck and a car collided on Bruce Street, sending the truck into the apartment. 4 people were taken to the hospital with moderate to serious injuries. The people who live in the apartment weren't home when it happened.
The man accused of driving drunk causing an accident that left a Megabucks winner paralyzed and her sister dead will not get a plea bargain after all. Clark Morse, who you see here, had been offered a 12 to 30-year sentence, but his attorney says he turned it down. Prosecutors now expect the felony DUI case to go to trial in February. Well, this time of year is hard on those families who've lost loved ones to drunk drivers. But just as they do every year, a group of people tied together by tragedy came together to celebrate in the midst of more than 100 trees.
These are my nieces and my nephews.
Today, dozens of families tied red ribbons around newly planted trees in Sunset Park in memory of those who were killed by drunk drivers. For the past few years, many of these families have headed out to the park to decorate the trees for the holidays. And no matter how much time has passed since the death, many say the holidays make it feel like yesterday.
Now I can't stand Christmas. So, and I think about the way we used to prepare for Christmas. My heart is not in it anymore.
7 new trees were planted at Sunset Park today, full of red ribbons and plaques at the base of each one. Another gathering will be held tomorrow at 3 at Community Lutheran Church on East Tropicana.
Here's what I'm not too happy about. If you think you pay too much for cable TV now, hold on to your remote. It's about to get even more expensive. Cox Communications says it wants to raise rates. If the proposal is accepted, the cost of basic service will go up by 43 cents after the first of the year. That's a 3.9% increase. No word on when that decision will be made.
It looks like the Regent Las Vegas may be getting a reprieve. Casino lawyers say it's unlikely a judge will lift a stay on litigation filed against the property. That means a group of contractors suing the Regent won't be able to force the property into foreclosure. Now, that could have led to the property being shut down and sold. The Regent filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in November because of construction delays and cost overruns.
Such a nice property. I hope everything works out.
Beautiful property.
Yeah. Well, have you had problems with your mail? They're certainly not uncommon.
In fact, tonight, some Valley residents say their mail is being stolen. Coming up, how you can keep this from happening to you.
Plus, why this man is driving his lawnmower across Las Vegas and the country, for that matter. A story you truly don't want to miss, coming up on News 3, where news comes first.
Closed captioning is provided by Sprint, the point of contact. You're watching Channel 3, where news comes first. This is News 3 Nightside.
Just as the holiday mail rush begins tonight, dozens of Valley residents say their mail is being stolen. Some people who live near Tropicana and Rainbow are starting a petition trying to get the post office to install locked mailboxes. They say thieves are opening the mailboxes in front of their homes and taking anything they can get their hands on.
It can be incoming mail or outgoing mail. They don't care. My brother's mortgage check was stolen from his mailbox.
There are several things you can do to avoid being a victim of mail theft. Drop off bills at the post office or a postal collection site and check with the credit reporting agency on a regular basis to make sure someone's not using your account or creating new ones with your name. And if you don't receive your mail or you have some concerns, you can always call the post office.
It's tough for many people to imagine spending your life in a wheelchair. An Illinois man says he'll soon be living that life because of a doctor's error. Gary Hatter had a disc in his back removed, but it turned out to be the wrong disc. And as a result, he may now end up paralyzed. Before that happens, Gary says he's going to see the world first. As News 3 photojournalist E.J. Sergi shows us, today Gary traveled through the Silver State in a very unusual form of transportation.
My name is Gary Hatter. I came up with this idea to drive a riding lawnmower through all 48 states. The reason that I decided to do this is I had a doctor took out the wrong disc 21 years ago, and I've been on disability ever since. And about 3 years ago, I went in for evaluation, and a doctor told me if I didn't have a third back operation, that there's a good chance that I was going to end up paralyzed. So I figured before letting that happen, I was going to create an idea. I love to drive. I love to travel. I thought, what better way to go across all 48 states than on a riding lawnmower? 2 occasions I kicked snakes up in my lap off the tires, and that was a pretty frightening experience. Because of the fan belt deal, I just thought it was another fan belt coming up in my lap. I went to grab a hold of it. Come to find out they were snakes. It's only happened on 2 occasions, but that was a pretty wild situation. The thing that amazes me the most is just how much enthusiasm there are with the people out here on the roads, giving me thumbs up, and they sit there and go, yeah, you know, and it's just incredible. And it doesn't make any difference what age they are. People just seem to love this. I haven't yet figured out why they love it, but they are really enthused about it, and they really get into it and love it.
Seems like a character. Hatter has already traveled more than 11,400 miles, a world record. He's been on the road for a consecutive 193 days, and this is his 41st state.
A little enthusiasm and a little confusion out there on the roads, too. People are giving him a little, puzzled look there.
That's right. He needs to come over by my house and do lawn over by my place as he's riding around, as long as he's out there.
Well, the weather certainly was nice for him to be driving through the area.
He's loving Las Vegas.
That's right. He could be in Bismarck, where earlier it was -4 degrees. We were all thinking, we were sending them a chill kind of long distance. Let's jump outside and check out the current conditions at this hour. We are looking over the strip courtesy of the Mandalay Bay camera, one of my favorite shots to Saturday night. Probably appropriate that we are checking out the strip since that's where a lot of action is going on right now. It's cool. The temperature is 49 degrees. The humidity is 61%. The wind is out of the west at 5 miles per hour. The barometer 29.96 inches of mercury and falling. 49 degrees right now at McCarran Airport. It was about 55 degrees at 6, so the temperature really isn't backing off very quickly, and that's actually thanks to the blanket of clouds we've got hovering over the valley right now. 50 degrees right now in Summerlin, 29 degrees on Mount Charleston. We believe they'll probably hold steady right around that mark into the overnight hours in the early morning. 51 degrees in Boulder City. And here's the situation. Clear skies in the overnight hours and then the clouds streaming on in. Here's the situation right now. The blanket of clouds over the valley, that's fine. Actually, we've got two systems going, one moving east to the north of us and one moving east to the south of us. So we're kind of sandwiched between the two. So we're getting some moisture and some clouds from both of those systems. 41 degrees right now in Salt Lake City, 56 degrees in Phoenix, 55 degrees in San Francisco. And as I mentioned, we've got one very weak system moving across to the north of us to the east and one to the south. So we are seeing the clouds streaming through the valley. And we're also going to get some moisture as well. So tomorrow we have a 10% chance of showers here in the valley and about a 40% chance of showers on the mountaintop. And the next system is going to move on in. It's going to bring some cooler temperatures, but certainly not as cool as we were anticipating earlier in the week. I think around Wednesday the models were suggesting that Sunday, tomorrow, was going to be the start of some very, very cold days. And we've changed that dramatically. We've got a very well-defined cold front that's marching through the nation's midsection. Obviously, in the cooler temperatures, the precipitation associated with this frontal boundary, snowfall. On the southern end of that front, it's rain. The pink, of course, freezing rain. And we were talking about cool temperatures. Well, Bismarck is still at -4 degrees, but I'm thinking that is just far too chilly. I don't even want to know what the wind chill is. 25 degrees right now in Minneapolis, 28 degrees in Chicago, and 75 degrees right now in Miami. Coming back home, the normal high for this time of year, 58 degrees. We made it up to 61. We anticipated that that was going to happen. The forecast right on the money. That's always nice when that happens. We fell back to 42 degrees in the morning. Air quality over the past 24 hours has been a combination of good and moderate readings, and your sun will rise tomorrow at 6:41 a.m. So we are at 49 degrees right now. We'll fall back to 46 degrees. 45 is probably the sunrise number that we're going to see. 60 degrees the high tomorrow. That's still slightly above the normal high for this time of year. A 10% chance of showers here in the valley. A 10% chance of showers out at the lake. 66 degrees your high. Up on the mountaintop, a 40% chance of showers. You'll fall back to 29 when you're at 29. Probably be right around there. 39 will be your high. And the rain will be below 6,500 feet. Snowfall above 6,500 feet if you do get that precipitation up on the mountaintop. And over the next several days, here's what you can expect weather-wise. 57 degrees on Monday. Tuesday, another shot of showers, just brief showers. And then we back off to like 54 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday. Not too shabby, actually, because the normal high 58. So it's starting to feel like the winter temperatures. We've been having a bunch of above normal days, and now we're kind of backing off.
But no complaints.
But no complaints.
A little rain would be nice.
That's right. Would be a change of pace.
Thanks, Rachel.
You're welcome.